Hello, and welcome to Let's Make a Top-Down Shooter. This video is about designing the functionality relating to the user interface for the Upgrade System framework started in the previous video. So our upgrade system is going to be using two widget blueprints. We're going to start by creating the button, which is a user widget, as always. We'll call this Upgrade Button. In here, we want a size box. We're going to make this override 400 by 500. Inside that, we want a vertical box. And inside that, we want text and a button. We'll call this upgrade text. Make sure it's a variable. Upgrade button, always a variable. We'll set both to fill. And as the width is 400 and the height is 500, we're making the text 20% of the height and the button 80%. Also want the text centered. Right. Inside of our graph, we want to create some variables. Going to make a WBP upgrade select. That will be the parent effectively. I can't set this until I create it. And an upgrade type from our recently created upgrade type. We want both of these instance editable and expose on spawn. And I'm going to create a function called Init Button. In here, I'm going to get the game instance. And then I'm going to delete that because I hit enter too soon. We want this version. We need to cast this to our BP. So that we can call get upgrade details, sending along our upgrade type. And for that, we want to use our upgrade text to set text, send along our text. And then the joys of setting images dynamically on buttons. We have our upgrade button. For that, we call set style. For the style that's coming in, we can drag that out and call make button style. You can see it has many options. We can drag out one and make slate brush. This will have all the information, including our image, for the normal state. For that, we need this icon here. So with how we're setting this up, I'm going to drag this same slate brush into all four of these states. Now, by default, if I had set the image in the button, the tint value would be different for those states, and you can see when you mouse over the button. I'm not doing it in the video because it would take way too long, but the way that you would do it is you take out your upgrade button, you want to get style. With that, you can break it out. Looks familiar, right? Any of the ones that aren't changing, you could just drag out. Well, I guess you wouldn't need to. But if we want to individually change those options, then we also have to break slate brush. And then you can drag in all of these individually that are staying the same. So if I wanted to do it properly, so to speak, this would only, or these three would be gone. This one Yeah, this one would go into here to maintain the tint. I'd have to create both of these on the hovered. Comes out, it breaks. You set all the values except for the image gets set from this, and that goes into hovered, and do the same for press and disabled. It takes up a lot of space and time, but that's the proper way to do it. There may be a better, quicker, easier way to do this. There was in Unreal 4, but I don't know that that's the case anymore. So lastly, we also have our button. I want to create an on-clicked event. And that's where we're going to be using our parent. Oh, well, there's no point dragging it out because it's currently a Boolean. To call the other function. So let's start creating that. So we're going to create another widget. This is WBP Upgrade Select. Now that I have that created, I can go back here and set this to the correct one. So now I can drag it out here, which I'm going to be calling a function for. So I'll drag that out, and that's what's going to be sent in our Upgrade Select. This is simply just a horizontal box, which I'll just rename to button box. Make sure that's a variable. In our graph, we're going to create a few functions. I want a show function, a hide function, a show toggle, that's the one that will actually be called. And lastly was the one we're calling from the button itself, which is on upgrade button, which now I can call from here. And that needs an upgrade type. So our button will be added to that box. It's setting up its image and other values based on the upgrade type that's sent. When that button is actually clicked, it will then call its parent effectively and send along the upgrade type. In our show, first we're going to set the visibility of our entire window to visible. We're going to get game instance, cast that. We're going to use that to call get pending upgrades. We're going to use that to iterate. And then for each of these upgrades, we are creating a widget, which is the upgrade button. Our expose on spawn pop up here, so we're sending self. And the upgrade type, which is available here. We want to then call the init button. And we also need to, oh, I can't do it there. Drag out the button box, call add child, and drag in this. The buttons will be created for everything that's returned by pending upgrades and added to the button box. All right, in our hide function, we're calling set visibility again with hidden. And then we're also taking the opportunity to clear all of the children of the button box. In show toggle, we're going to call getVisibility. And when that is not equal to visible, we will call show. Otherwise, we'll call hide. For now, our upgrade button will just call hide. And also just print out the upgrade that was selected for testing insanity. Now to get this on the screen, we need to add it to our HUD. So we're going to go down to user created. We will find our upgrade select. Throw that in here. We want that 1200, which is 3 buttons wide by 500, 1 button high. We want the visibility set to hidden. And I can hold Shift and Control to put it in the center. Lastly, I want to go in and create a input action. I'll just duplicate this one. This will be IA show upgrades. Add that to our mapping context. I hate the UI for this screen. It always pops stuff open when you don't want it. All right, so show upgrades, we will just make that U. And lastly, that means in our third person character, on our event graph, we want to go to the bottom. I'll add IA show upgrades. And here, when it is started, so when it's pressed, oops, I don't need to drag that. I want to first add an init UI, drag out the HUD, get our new upgrade select WBP, save that as a variable. And then in here we can drag this out, call show toggle. So if you just mash the W key, it will show and hide, show and hide. Now when we run that, I hit U, pops it open, happen to be 3 common. If I close it, pop it back open, those have been saved, so I can do it any number of times. You're not going to get different values. If you stop and start, hit U. In this case, I got the rare entry. Do it again. Rather, that was the epic the last time, 2 rares and a common in this case. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video and would like to see more, you know what to do. And if you would like to support this channel or just want to download the project files, you can do so through my Patreon linked below.